So do you also want to send alert messages on Slack whenever a new database item is updated on Notion? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to send Notion status based alert messages on Slack using an AI agent. So over here I'm running a digital marketing agency and my team tracks the project using Notion. So now what I want is that as soon as the status of a project turns into ready for review automatically, and message should be sent on my Slack channel informing my team and the reviewers to review it automatically and faster. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Notion, OpenAI and Slack. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to automate real-time Slack alerts based on status change in Notion. So using an AI agent we can do this simply. So let's say for example when the deliverables in Notion move to ready for review, the system automatically sends a message to the relevant team channel on Slack, keeping your team updated without needing to check the Notion manually. It is a perfect workflow to improve accountability, save time and ensure deadlines are never missed. So let's build it together. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I'm an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you're going to see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and once I'm just going to click on this access now, it is going to open the dashboard of my Pabbly Connects account, and over here to start with this automation I'm simply going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here if you haven't created multiple folders, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own folder right over here in which you save your workflows. Alright, I've created my folder, so I'm just going to select the same right over here, and now for the workflow name I'm simply going to select it as this: send Notion status based alert messages on Slack using an AI agent. And then I'm simply going to click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started I'm simply going to select my trigger application as Notion, because what I want over here is, like, let's say this is the client deliverables tracker. All right, and now let's say that I am Priya Sen and I complete this task and I want to submit it for review. So I'm just going to simply update the status as ready for review, and further I want that once I update the status as ready for review, automatically my team on Slack should be notified and the reviewer concerned should review the project, and then we can finalize it and send it towards our client. So this is the whole use case. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to select my trigger as Notion, because now whenever I'm just going to update the status or anything in this, automatically the details will be captured right over here. Alright, so now for the trigger event I'm just going to simply select it as update database item and click on this connect. Alright, and now it is saying add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Notion account, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Notion. And once I'm just going to click on this blue button which says connect with Notions, Pabbly is going to ask me to select some pages for which we want to give the permissions. Alright, so I'm just going to simply select the pages for which I want to give the permission. So as you can see, the name of my page is client deliverables tracker. So I'm just going to select the same page right over here which I want to connect. So as you can see that it is already added, so I'm simply going to move on forward and give the access only. So I'm just going to click on this allow access button. You can also give Pabbly all the permissions because your data is secure with Pabbly. Alright, and once you're going to give all the permissions. Yes, with this, we have successfully connected our Notion account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And after connecting this, it is saying database ID. So as you can see, that I've simply selected the same database right over here. And after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Notion is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Notion, it is saying the trigger will check for new data in 1 hour. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is, once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Notion. So before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just do the test submission. Let's say I'm just going to add the note right over here as draft created and added in Drive. So as you can see, that I've successfully added the note, and now let's say I'm just going to select the status as ready for review. Alright, so now after updating this, I'm just going to open my workflow and click on this save and send test request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. You're going to see that this is the content which we updated, and over here you're going to see the status has been changed to ready for review. Now I'm just going to move on forward. Over here you're going to also see the notes which we added. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. But now what I want is that not with every updated database item, but with only a single updated database item, which is status, right? If the status is set to ready for review, then only this workflow should move on further. So to do this, we are simply going to add a filter condition in this workflow. I'm just going to select my action as filter. It is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to add conditions in your workflow. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as filter values and click on this connect. Now it is asking me for the label. So let's say I'm just going to select the label as status right over here. Alright, and now for the filter type, I'm just going to keep it as equals to. So now what I want is that this status, if this status is equals to this ready for review, then only the workflow should move on further. So I'm just going to keep the value as ready for review. So for the label, we select what I want. For the filter type, we select what it should be. And now for the value, we have to enter the same value. Like what I want is that if the status is equals to ready for review, then this workflow should move on further. So for that, I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And now if the status is overdue or in progress, the workflow is going to stop right over here only. And now after setting up this filter, I'm just going to move on further, and using my OpenAI, I'm just going to generate a Slack message. So I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to get this token. And to get this token, it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page right from here. And after coming over here towards my OpenAI API key page, we are simply going to create a new secret key. For that, we have to click on this create secret key button. And now over here it is asking me for the name and the project. So you can simply enter the name and the project and create your own secret key. I've already created my key, so I'm simply going to paste it right over here and click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it's asking me to select the model. So over here you have to select the model according to your choice. I'm just going to select it as GPT-4. And now it's asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. So as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and in this prompt I've clearly mentioned a sample message too. Alright, so if you wish, you can definitely mention the sample message too. And over here you're going to see that this is my prompt, and you can customize this prompt according to your own needs and choices. Alright, and after doing this, now I'm just going to add all of these details which we received from the Notion so that my AI agent can generate the message using these same details. So how are we going to enter the details? We are going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger and the action step, where we selected Notion and filter as our trigger and action application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of a previous step only. And as soon as we're just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so one by one I'm just going to map all of these details. First, I'm just going to map the task title, then I'm just going to map the client name right over here, and then I'm just going to move on further. I'm just going to map the owner, which is the assignee right over here. Now I'm just going to map the due date right over here. I'm just going to move on further, and now I'm just going to map the priority right over here. So I'm just going to look for all of these details and map it one by one. And after mapping this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send as request. And now my AI agent is going to generate me a Slack message, which further I'm just going to send on my Slack channel. So yes, you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me the Slack message. All right. So as you can see that this is the Slack message which has been generated. So now I'm just going to send this same Slack message. All right. So I'm just going to add another action step, and I'm just going to select Slack as my action application because I'm just going to send a channel message. And now for the action event, I'm just going to select it as send channel message and click on this connect. Once again, it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Slack account, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Slack. And now it is asking me for the token type, and in the help text it is saying enter the token type as either user or bot. Check the documentation below to find out how to get it. So you're simply going to go towards this learn more hyperlink, and over here you're going to get the document using which you can select if you want the token type as user or bot. You first have to read this documentation, see the limitations of both, and then you can check the same. I'm just going to keep this token type as bot right over here and click on this save button right over here. And once I'm just going to click on this save, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So once again, I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And once I'm just going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully connected our Slack account. And now it is asking me for the channel ID. So I'm simply going to select my channel. As you can see, the name is project updates. So I'm simply going to search for the same channel and select it right over here. And now for the message, I'm simply going to map the message which my AI agent generated. And now it's asking me for many another details. If you wish, you can definitely fill out these details. The first is image URL. So if you want to send any image, you can add that image URL right over here. And if you want to add any text with that image, you can add it right over here. If you want to create a bot, like I selected the user token as bot, so over here I can give the bot name and select the bot icon. If you want, you can do this. If you want to auto expand links, you can keep it as true. If not, you can keep it as false. And over here you're going to select all of these details according to your own choice. I'm just going to keep it as default only and click on this button which says save and send test request. And now we have received the positive response that we have successfully sent a channel message on our Slack. So I'm just going to open my Slack, and over here you're going to see that we have received a message. And as you can see that this message contains all the details: task ready for review, project, client, owner, due date, priority, and status. So once my team member completes the task and select the status as ready for review, automatically this workflow is going to get started. First, this workflow is going to check that if the status is ready for review or not. And yes, if it is ready for review, then my AI agent is going to generate the Slack message, and then we are simply going to send that Slack message on our Slack channel like this. So yes, all of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send as request. Automatically within an hour, this Notion is going to check for the new details. And if you want to reduce or increase this trigger time, you can go to its three dots, set trigger time, and from here you can reduce it to 10 minutes and increase it to right over here till 24 hours. All right, I'm just going to keep it as 1 hour only. And with this, we have successfully completed this workflow. So now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.